Welcome back to the Out About Podcast. I am Patrick, and you all know my friend, co-host, Chili Peppers.
Pepper, just one.
What?
Just one pepper.
Chili pepper. What?
Chili pepper.
Chili pepper.
Singular, not plural.
Singular.
Yes.
Pepper.
You know, it's funny. That's important to how I got the nickname Chili, but we'll tell that story later.
Yeah, but black pepper is multiple. Anyway, doesn't matter. And you all know our producer, Jerry.
What's up, everyone?
That's not it. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. You know our producer, Jerry.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, what a week it has been. Have you recovered from the Mid-America Truck Show?
I'm working on it. You know, it was a week, and there was a little after the truck show functions, and I'm working on it. Back to work yesterday.
Yes.
Got some good work in. Back to work today. Got some mediocre work in. Back to work tomorrow. I don't know if any work will get done tomorrow, but hey, we'll try.
Well, I did hear you had business meetings in Kentucky after, right?
We did have meetings in Kentucky after.
Kentucky, yeah. It was
lots of Kentucky hugs in those meetings.
Well, they're very friendly people.
They truly are very friendly. They I think are the epitome of Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
I get some disagreement from the true Southerners in the room.
I mean, they're kind of Yanks, but it's fine.
Kind of, yeah. But I was just going along with the whole thing, and you guys poo-pooed that. So, I mean, I enjoyed the Southern hospitality. Is that better?
That's
better way
great.
To say
yes,
it?
yes, I agree.
Or how about this? I enjoyed the hospitality.
Yes, I agree with that. I thought it was really fun. I joined you. Joined. That's not the right word. Like we're at the hip. I joined you for some of those Southern meetings,
right? Yeah,
and the business meetings, and we got to talk about a lot of things. And you know what impressed me the most about that part of our trip after Mid-America Truck Show was the aroma of life surrounding those establishments.
The aroma of life is something to be experienced. It's I think it's similar to others, but unlike most aromas.
I feel you. The closest thing I can think of would be like a bakery.
Right. That's why I said similar to some.
If a cow farm had a bakery.
Right. Yes.
That would be that would be cow farm. We call those ranches, right?
We do call those ranches.
Cow farm.
Yeah. Cow farm ranches. People get the idea though, because you can have a ranch of any sort, so it still have to be a cattle ranch.
A Hidden Valley.
Yes.
Ranch.
Yes, ranch. Yeah.
I'm more of a craft person, but anyways. Well, we did just go to the Mid-America Truck Show, as we alluded to, and had a lot of fun. It was great seeing everybody that came out and saw us. You know, one thing that surprised me a lot about the Mid-America Truck Show was we had multiple people come up to us and say, "Hey, I know you from your podcast." And I was like, really?
Yeah. That was very surprising.
It was very surprising. And I mean, like, I assumed, as you probably do, most of the people that listen to us are people who work or drive with Hyfield.
Correct.
And we're promoting it internally, so a lot of them listen to it to hear kind of what's going on or what have you, kill some time going down the road, make fun of us, whatever. And being at that show and talking to quite a few people who have no affiliation with us whatsoever, or maybe interested in driving with us, or maybe are just another trucker, no intention of getting into our line of business, but they still listen to us. It was really surprising. I was not prepared for that.
It was a pleasant surprise that they walked up and recognized the Outer Belt podcast and not Luke Shire. I mean, some listen to and watch Luke Shire videos as well.
Absolutely.
But they called out the Outer Belt podcast, which was really cool.
I thought so.
We're babies at it still.
I know.
You know?
I know. And it was so weird, too, because it was like, if it was one person, it'd be like, oh, that was a fluke.
Right.
But it was quite a few people.
It was quite a few.
And that's where it's like, oh, this is strange.
Yeah.
I'm not used to this. I don't like it. I understand now why Jerry would rather spend time in the truck than he would like out at Expo visiting people, because they just constantly...
It's a constant swarm
of them.
You know what I thought was really interesting, though, was when people would stop by and talk to us, Jerry would ask for their phone, go to the Outer Belt Podcast webpage, and subscribe them. No one caught on to it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, a few times I noticed he was going to YouTube and subscribing to us from there, not the webpage.
Right.
But I was fine with whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Get the subscriptions up. Good job, Jerry.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sometimes you just gotta, take control.
Yeah.
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 Did you ring the bell for the alerts?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Why wouldn't you?
Of course. I don't know. Do we have an Outer Belt website?
No, I actually meant the YouTube page is what I was referring to. But
We do have a podcast website.
We do.
I don't have the web address off the top of my head.
That's handy.
I can put it in the show notes, Facebook, but it is provided by our podcast
Provider. Our host. Yes.
So they do have a page there that lists all of the episodes.
okay, cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
That is cool.
It's pretty basic, but
Yeah.
there is something out there.
There's something out there. That's good. We have an email address also if you want to get a hold of us.
We do have an email address, and people are finally starting to use it. I'm very excited. And that email address is?
The Outer Belt Podcast at gmail.com.
Is that the as in the Outer Belt Podcast at gmail.com?
It is the as in the Outer Belt Podcast at gmail.com.
Are you sure it's not the Outer Belt Podcast at gmail.com?
I think that Jerry is wise enough to get both the and the Outer Belt Podcast at gmail.com.
Can you do that? Is that possible? Does Google recognize the long line or the arch line over the E?
I think it does.
Okay.
When it comes to like SEO and things of that, I have recently learned that
Oh, cool.
in the class that I'm taking.
See? Told you.
But when it comes to like a web address or something, I don't think it does.
I told you Jerry's wise enough to do that.
Well, he's learned man,
He is.
as they would say,
Yeah.
where he comes from. Well, I just want to take a second real quick before we get started. Well, I guess we're already started, but
We are.
before we get into it some more, and thank all the Hyfield family who came out and joined us. A lot of staff, a lot of support. It was a great show. We talked to a ton of people, hanging out with the Panther booth. We had Delina came out there. She brought her husband along. He was out there helping recruit people, and it's not even his job or company. Of course, Kelly and Jimmy Mack were in the house when they could be. It was funny because half the time I noticed that Jimmy had to go step away for, trucking issues, and same with Don. Don had to go do quite a bit. But Jerry and Don were there. You and Buttermilk came out.
Yeah.
Eric was there, obviously, and so was Kayla and the other Eric, her Eric. And again, Kayla works with us. Eric does not. He used to, but he doesn't anymore. But he was out there talking about the brand, talking about what we do, and it ended up being a great show. Did I miss anybody? Who am I forgetting? Matt and Jamie Brookhouse came out.
They did.
And hung out with us, and it was a really great. It was a great show. It was a great show, and it was also great just spending time with all of y'all. So for people that don't know, our company, we have people all across America working with us or working for us. And so we don't necessarily get a chance, even as a staff, to hang out very often. And so it was great to be in one place where all of us are there. Because pretty much, I would say for the most part, everybody in the staff is pretty friendly with each other, right? Like, we don't have a whole lot of work-related drama. Everybody gets along, and it is a fun experience when we get to hang out.
Everybody steps up and pulls their weight and some more when we find places where we can overlap and work together.
Yes.
Delina has reached out to Melissa and I to talk to recruits, when they have questions that are pretty specific that she can't answer. Like we said when Kelly and Jimmy were here, Ops works with Kelly daily to make sure we have the right trucks available, maintenance. And if I'm busy and one of the shops needs to be alerted that the truck is coming, Don and Jimmy step right in and send an email for me. If we have questions about different things, they're happy to help. So we all recognize that for the size company we are and the small amount of staff that we have, that it's on all of us to help out, to go and do our job, but also fill in where we need to fill in.
I completely agree with you, but I think even a step further is we also enjoy each other's company.
We do. We truly do.
We truly do. We're going to talk in a second about kind of the things at Matt's that we like the most, but, probably one of my favorite things we did at Matt was sitting at dinner together and just enjoying conversation and laughter and just all kinds of ridiculousness around a dinner table breaking bread. I mean, it was such a great, fun time. It was a little challenging finding restaurants.
That would take a crowd our size on short notice. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So next year I'm going to have to step it up and pre-plan a little better.
A little better.
But the places we went to were pretty good.
We had a lot of fun. The food was good. The service was good. Nowhere that we went was disappointing at all.
Correct. Yeah.
No,
we did, and we did. There was one restaurant we went to. We overwhelmed them, but we were all cool about it and worked with the servers and everything, and it was fine. But it was, and it was just a pub. It wasn't even like a full. I mean, it was a restaurant, but they were mostly a pub, and so they were kind of like, "Whoa, that's a lot of people."
Right, but they did step up and take care of business, and like you said,
yep,
we were all cool with it and recognized that they were a little overwhelmed with us, and we can be overwhelming.
Us? No,
you're right. But we were all perfectly happy with their service and what they did. Even with the guy spilling water all over me, whatever. It's just water, bro.
I know. Well, you deserved it.
I did. I was kind of hot. At least that's what Melissa told me.
I think she said, well, at least you're not hot anymore.
Oh.
I think that's how she phrased
it. Well, no, right before the water, she said, you're kind of hot.
Oh.
And I think the waiter heard that and wanted to help cool me off.
I get that.
Because,
I was at Lambert's Cafe years and years ago. Lambert's Cafe is a restaurant in, they have one in Missouri. They have one in Foley, Alabama. They have one place else that I can't recall. There's only like 3 or 4 of them. And it's kind of like Cracker Barrel type food.
Okay.
But when you walk in, they seat you at these big tables, and they hire these local baseball, high school baseball kids to come in, and actually they throw the rolls at you.
Heard about that place.
So they will bring a cart out full of piping hot, big, the big, massive rolls, and they'll just stand in one area, and they will lob them all over the place.
Nice.
I've seen people get smacked in the head and go down like they just got hit by a baseball bat. I've seen all kinds of fun stuff. And I was sitting there enjoying myself. Oh, one of the things they do is they serve you drinks in the insulated cups that are like 80 ounces.
Yes.
They're huge.
Big styrofoam ones?
No, not the styrofoam ones. I mean the plastic ones that have the space all around them.
I do, yeah.
So it might have been not 80 ounces, probably 32 ounces.
But big.
But big, yeah. 32 ounces for a restaurant's huge.
Sure.
And I saw him. He was throwing it to me. I was ready to catch it. And I was here, up high, and he was down low. And he hit that cup perfectly. And a freshly refilled giant 32-ounce cup of Mountain Dew went all over me. And if you know anything about like soft drinks or whatever, when you spill yourself with Mountain Dew, not only do you get the wet, but then you get the dry, sticky.
Sticky, yeah. That's sticky, icky.
And there's nothing I could do. It's just like, all right, I just got to suck it up and live with it until I can get out of here. And it was for my birthday, of course. My birthday lunch, or dinner. No, the steak was good. Actually, I didn't get steak. I got fat back. They had grilled fat back. Anyways.
Yeah, let's not go there.
So, anyways, tell me, if you would, Jerry, what was your favorite part of the Mid-America Truck Show?
Everything. I think the most important thing was the trucks. There were some really, really cool lowriders there. You'll have to help me describe the one, but the apocalyptic.
The apocalyptic one?
Thank you. That one looked really, really cool.
I think it was ridiculous.
It was my favorite.
It had a welder torch on the air cleaner, and it had the hoses all plumbed and everything.
It was cool.
I love the hood ornament, the brass knuckles.
Yes. And I didn't think about it until I saw a kid walk over to it and grab the brass knuckles like he was going to open the hood with it. I didn't even realize it was actually oriented in that way.
Oh, so it's practical.
It's practical.
Oh, that's hysterical. I didn't realize it either.
Yeah, it was really cool. So it was a tow truck. For those of you that are listening and not watching, it was a tow truck, a flatbed tow truck. It wasn't a modern tow truck. It was like, I don't know. Old, yeah. It had a sleeper on it.
A coffin sleeper.
A coffin sleeper. And the bed was tilted down like it was loading a truck. It was actually loading a pickup truck from the rear. The paint job is just really hard to describe.
Yeah.
It was a base two-tone paint job, but it had all kinds of blended colors of the same
It was beautiful.
color scale. It was gorgeous. Maybe Jerry will drop a picture of it in our show notes for us, and those of you listening, when you get a chance, can go over to the YouTube video and take a look at it.
Absolutely. So just so everybody knows, after we get done talking here in a few minutes, we're going to tack on a walkthrough Vince and I made of getting through the show, and it'll be an opportunity for y'all to kind of see the show if you didn't go, see the highlights of that what we looked at. We missed a bunch of stuff, so I feel bad about that. Like I realized after we did it, we completely missed TA Travel Centers. Completely. They brought that big old sign out and everything. We completely walked by it and missed it.
That video would have been 3 hours long had we.
It would have been.
If we'd have walked through there at normal pace and then sped it up, it still would have been 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So we got what we could.
We got some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we did.
So if you were listening on the podcast for that portion of it, you may want to pull up YouTube or pull the website up or the Facebook or Instagram. I know, Jerry, you said you're going to grab a bunch of screen grabs of things we're talking about, throw it on there so you'll be able to actually see what we're talking about. Or if you want to sit through the YouTube video, that's going to probably be better than listening to it on podcast.
Yeah,
but we're still going to talk and describe a little bit about what we're seeing as you go through there. So if you don't get a chance to see it, you will at least be able to hear a little about it.
Yeah, and it's not just a video of us walking around the show. There actually is commentary attached to it as well.
Yes.
Talking about what we're looking at, who the vendor is possibly.
Yep.
So it wasn't just us walking around in fast motion. There was some commentary.
It actually came out a whole lot better than I thought it was going to.
Same, I agree.
I was very impressed.
I agree.
We have a great editor.
We do.
And but that truck with the tow truck is on there and it is highlighted, so you will be able to see that. Some of the lowrider trucks, like you were talking about, there was one on the same row we were on, but like down at the opposite end. That thing was it a 1/4 inch off the ground? I don't think it was.
I think it was about 1/8 of an inch off the ground.
It was obscene. Now I do know it was because the airbags were lowered.
Oh, sure.
But still, even with them up, it couldn't have been more than 2 inches. Like unbelievable.
No, it was unbelievable how low it was.
Yeah, it was.
And the colors.
Oh, it was a beautiful truck.
Gorgeous truck.
Yeah. And I love it. Like when they do all these trucks, they're doing these old Kenworths, these old Peterbilts, and they're just making them look, pristine.
Yeah. Gorgeous truck.
There's something about a cool old truck. I mean, we see a couple in that video, little teaser. We're going to see a couple really, really, really old trucks. And
they weren't all show trucks in the sense that they were fancied up and fresh paint jobs. Some were working trucks like today.
Yeah.
Still working trucks, and they weren't all beautified. But they're still gorgeous trucks. The technology is just
absolutely
gorgeous.
Amazing. There's a whole row of trucks in the walkthrough that we filmed that's going to be nothing but working trucks.
Yeah.
So every truck you see in that section, we pointed out, you'll see is actually a working truck, like leaving the show, going to hook up to a trailer, and then go haul cargo.
Yeah.
But there was a whole section of the show outside that we missed. It wasn't even in the front area.
No.
We saw that it was in the back area. That was it's the working truck show or something like that. Every single truck in there has to be a working truck. And I don't mean like working as in it runs. I mean working as in it
hauls freight.
It hauls freight. It makes money. It's portion plates. It's all that stuff. And those are so cool. Those guys are so proud of their truck. And I like that too, because I do like a show queen truck. Those are cool.
Sure.
Everybody, I mean, like, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, it's a trailer queen or whatever. Who cares? It's a beautiful truck. And so it's a great example of our Americana that is salvaged. But there is something also to be said about the truck that has 2-3 million miles on it and is in pristine or really good condition. Maybe not pristine, but good condition. And it's still out there making money. That's just a really cool thing to see. So it was a really good show. I think my favorite part of the show, I was going to say the lowrider, honestly. You kind of stuck it away from me. That was such an impressive vehicle. It really surprised me how nice it was. I enjoyed the cab overs too. I'm a cab over nut.
Cool trucks.
I wish we still made cab over or used them, but nobody makes them in America anymore. We still get them in Europe, but not here. And they had some cab overs that were really, really cool. And those might have been some of my favorite trucks. It's one of the things we always joked about doing is buying an old cab over, stretching it, putting a box on it, and having it be like an Expediter truck, just really old.
Right.
And I think that'd be really cool, but,
it'd be the Hyfield Trailer Queen.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. But it'd be cool, though, to see that.
It would be. Well, and we do shows, and we have to bring things sometimes. It'd be not, it could be a working truck. It doesn't have to be a per se a trailer queen, but
Right.
yeah, still have it nice. But yeah, I think between the lowrider and the cab overs, that's where I'm going to go.
Okay.
How about you, Vince? What was your creme de la crop?
You know, it's funny that I'm the oldest one here, and I like all the newest trucks. I'm a technology junkie, as you both know. I love technology.
Yes.
So for me, it was getting into those ARI sleepers.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Those ARI sleepers are so beautiful. The technology inside of them is amazing. I love them. I mean, the thought that goes to from what I saw, and then also talking with ARI rep that was there, the thought that goes into building those trucks and designing the sleepers, I thought was amazing. They had some great apportionments in those sleepers. I really did enjoy them.
Yeah, they kind of impressed me a lot too, because they're starting to get into things like multiplex wiring and such,
Right.
which if you don't know what that is, that's so instead of like just a regular on-off switch for the lights, which is great, and we've been doing it for
Sure.
years, just a regular on-off switch. They don't fail, they're perfect. Multiplex lighting is where they'll have like a bank of dimmers, and everything wires to that dimmer, all the lights in the truck. And then you can actually go to a panel, and they can be look like an LCD screen or
Right.
whatever, and you can actually select your lights and how bright you want them, how soft you want them. Sometimes
color
change
you want 'em,
you
yeah.
change colors, things like that, and it'll do it for all the lights. Now, a lot of the trucks have rope lighting, and a lot of the trucks have some limited capability,
Sure.
but this is for the whole truck, everything. And I've seen fancy RVs do that, but I haven't seen it make its way to trucks. And so when I saw it on a couple, I think there was 2 trucks that had it, I was like, whoa, okay, so they finally called onto that. That's an extremely expensive upgrade, and it's cool to see that now they're able to do them in trucks.
It is. I think the technology has come a long way from where it was, and the price is starting to come down some.
Yes.
At least in the consumer market, if you want to go out and build your own system that way, the price is starting to drop. But I think that's why we're seeing it more in those trucks, and people that are living in their trucks.
Yes.
Where that truck is their home and their business, they want those types of things. They want those creature comforts. They want that technology in their home.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. There was one truck, it was ridiculous. It had a freaking Whirlpool tub in it.
That was ridiculous.
I mean, so on most of our trucks, if you're driving one of them, or if you've seen a picture of them, you know that the bed folds down over a dinette set, and you can lift the bed up, and it's Murphy bed style, and there's a dinette set there. Well, this one didn't have a dinette set. It had a jacuzzi tub. And I'm going to say it was a 2-person.
It was a 2-person. That's how it was advertised,
Yeah.
was a 2-person tub.
When I saw the pictures of it online, I thought, oh, that's a 1-person little
Sure.
rinky-dink tub. When I got in there, I was like, whoa, that's a big
It's
tub.
a big tub.
And the wall, the side of the tub that faced into the sleeper, was actually had a glass in it. So I don't know why you would want to, but you could see in through there. I guess if you had fish in there or something. I don't know.
I guess if you were laying on the floor, because it was pretty low.
It was pretty
wasn't
low.
like it was,
It was-
eye level.
No, and it was funny because I think a couple people had already been in and out when I showed it to them, and they were like, "Oh, we didn't even see that."
Yeah.
It was not easy to see, but it was a cool. It was very cool, and they had a fireplace in there. They had a TV. It was definitely set up for not a lot of over the road traveling. It was definitely more of like drive it someplace and pull a trailer and stop and be camped out for a
Right.
week.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
like trade show circuit or something like that. Not a everyday over the road truck, but it was really cool.
Gorgeous
Every button, every doorknob had a little buffalo on it in gray. It was.
Did we say
Really
that
nice
the whole
truck.
theme was Buffalo Bills?
I don't think we did. No.
So the whole theme, the outside paint job was the buffalo, the like their helmet emblem, the running
football
buffalo
team.
with the streaks, the football team.
Yeah.
They had a signed jersey from a Buffalo Bills player. I don't follow football, so I couldn't tell
either.
you who he was or if he's current, but it was an autographed jersey from a Buffalo Bills player that some folks were geeking out over. It was a gorgeous truck. I could have done without the Buffalo Bills branding, but that was that was their desire,
Yes.
their fandom, and yeah, it worked for them. I would have went with, I don't know, USC Trojans or something.
Yeah, or Alabama Roll Tide or
War Eagle.
Crimson Tide or the Alabama Crimson Tide or LSU. Go Tigers. Something. I don't know. Go Tigers. Purple and yellow sleeper might be a bit much.
It might, well, yeah, it might be, but hey, do it right.
I'm more of a white truck with some neutral colors on the inside.
Yeah, don't want to bring attention to yourself.
No,
I get it.
I did like the
I get it.
fireplace though. I do dig that a lot. We back when we drove, we always joked about building a custom truck for us, which we never did, but we always said we're going to get a fireplace that's on a drawer, so you just pull it out and have a fireplace and stick it back in there when you're done. Never materialized, but it was a very cool truck. It was also to see the level of craftsmanship those people have over at ARI.
Yeah, it was nice.
They do really nice builds, so I completely understand why that would have been your favorite. It was a lot of fun. So, as I alluded to earlier, we are going to tack on about a 40-minute tour of walking from literally the booth we were hanging out at all the way across the expo to the ARI booth, which was on the complete opposite side.
Totally opposite side, yeah.
And so you'll get a little snippet of what was at the show, and you'll hear some of our running commentary. Again, we're just a couple idiots talking on a microphone, having fun. And yeah, I'm very curious as to what your thoughts are on everything.
Yeah.
Before we go to that, though, it is an Outer Belt episode, and what would an Outer Belt episode be without talking about our plane?
Well, can we make our announcements before you talk about your plane so we don't forget?
Sure.
You don't have to. You run the show, so you do what you want to do.
Jerry runs the show. We've talked about that.
Jerry, what do you want to do? Plane or announcements?
Let's go ahead and do the announcements just so we don't forget.
I win. Yeah, so coming up on the 15th of April, we are going to do a live show.
Oh, that's right.
We are switching our time to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. So join us, please. We're going to have our moderators again.
Were you going to say be there?
I was going to say be there. We're going to have our moderators again to moderate comments and feed them to us so we don't have to sit and watch the comment stream the whole way. Love to answer your questions and talk to you folks through that chat. And then also coming up in July will be our next trade show.
That would be July the 21st and 22nd.
Yes, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
At the
Allen County War Memorial Coliseum.
That is correct. And we are going to be there in the Hyfield booth. We're going to have a booth kind of in the middle of the room.
Kind of, yeah.
And
can't miss it. Really can't miss it.
Well, if you blinked.
That's true.
Yeah.
For a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All of us are going to be there. You'll get to meet mentors. You'll get to meet staff. You get to see a lot of other vendors going to be there, truck salesmen, other carriers.
And there'll be other Hyfield contractors there, too, you can talk to. So if you feel like you're getting the runaround from, not the runaround, a bill of goods from staff,
yes,
talk to the other contractors that are there. They'll give you the straight scoop.
Absolutely. Vet us. I have no problem with that. Talk to other people, see what they have to say. It never fails. We're not everybody's cup of tea. We do really good, but every now and then we get someone who will talk to someone and they're like, yeah, we ran with them, but really wasn't a good fit for us. And I always say, hear them out, listen to what they say, and then also come to a show like this and hear from 30 other people and get their opinion as well.
Yeah.
It's a great chance to kind of vet, hey, Hyfield's saying this sounds too good to be true. What's your experience? Or they're saying that, or do you think they'd be open to changing this or that? Those are great shows, great times to have those conversations. And then also meet us, get a feel for who we are. Come hang out with us at the Casino Royal. That's not right. At the Casino Night. We're going to give everybody $1,000, tell them, cut them loose.
In fake money.
In fake money, yes. And we're going to have a great time.
Last year they had craps tables, roulette.
Yes.
They had blackjack.
I was only at the craps table. I don't know what else happened in that room. But more importantly, they're going to be giving away giveaways all night long. Everybody gets a wristband when they get in there, and they watch them change it this year.
Probably.
And they, when we first started, it was different. Anyways, they give you a wristband, and they do door prizes all night long. And these door prizes are nice. I mean, they
are very nice.
Like anywhere from, say, $25 to $50 at a Pilot all the way up to a couple $100 steakhouse dinners, to toolboxes on trucks, to let me think of the things. Just Eric and I going to these shows over the years. We won a 50-inch television one year. Eric did. We won a those little what do they call that? They like fit into the back of your trailer hitch and just give you like 2 foot of outdoor space. It's like a tray.
Like a carrying tray?
Yeah,
like a
they're like 4 or 5 foot wide, couple
Right.
foot deep, and then you can just hook them into your
And
trailer hitch
they're
on your
flat,
car. They're
yeah.
flat, yes.
And you just load them for
like
securement.
put your cooler or whatever
as you're traveling down the
yes.
road. Yeah.
So
sure.
I won one of those one year.
Nice.
I mean, they have obviously they give a Traeger away every year. Almost every year they give away iPads. It's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
So the first year I did it, as you're playing, as you win, you would get tickets, and then they drew the prizes off the tickets. I think they quit doing that because all the freaking poker sharks and blackjack people who were really, really great kept sweeping the pages and winning everything. So now they do it based on just the wristband that everybody gets. But it's a lot of fun. I encourage people to come to the show, come hang out with us, meet us. Weather permitting, we'll do an outdoor party, after party, circle up the wagon, so to speak, and just kind of hang out. And it's a great time to get to know us on a personal level, get to know our character. So parking for that, I do want to disclaim, is $16 a day. Typically, if you get there on the first day and you stay overnight, because they do allow you to stay over the night in their parking lot, then they don't really charge you for the second day. But don't tell anyone I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great event, and we encourage you to be there. So we got 2 things coming up. The live next week, 6 p.m. on the East Coast.
On the 15th of April.
On the 15th of April. I said next week, didn't I?
You did say next week.
I meant, sorry about that. What are dates? Anyways, and then...
They can be fun.
True. And then Expedite Expo in July. So the airplane of the day.
The airplane of the day.
Last week, I brought y'all a plane. It was it the pink plane? Did I do the pink plane last week?
Yes.
Yes. So that was the loudest plane I said I'd been in, right? Like unreasonably loud?
Yes.
Well, today I'm bringing you a CRJ-200 by Delta. Jerry, I know for a fact you are well acquainted with this plane, and do you know why I brought it today? If last week was the loudest, this plane will be the
quietest,
most uncomfortable plane I've ever been in my life. Okay, so this airplane, the seats, it's like one bench seat for 2 people, not 2 separate seats, just one bench seat for 2 people, and the backs kind of move. So the backs are separate. But the actual seat part of it, the bottom seat, is just one bench cushion.
Wow.
There's no contouring, nothing.
Wow.
And then the backs, like I said, each person gets their own backs.
Did you get separate armrest in the middle?
You not separate armrest, but there is an armrest in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
It's about 1.5 inches wide. I sat on the window seat for this, and because the plane is so small, you know how like when you're in a window seat, you can kind of lean to your right and kind of get into that curve?
Sure.
There's no curve. The plane's so small. It's just like, oh, man, it was, and I flew from Atlanta to Fort Wayne, Indiana, speaking of, and it was just the absolute most uncomfortable flight I've ever been on in my life. And I've flown it one other time, and I hate it. Delta has committed to getting these out of their fleet because they're so hated. You've already seen a couple other carriers have gotten them out of their fleets, and it's terrible. I know, Jerry, you spent some time in it. What did you think? Because, you're like me. You're not necessarily the smallest person in the world.
Definitely. I was even bigger back whenever I was on it. I rode from Knoxville, Tennessee down to Atlanta to catch a connecting flight. And
Is that 12 minutes?
it was more like 20, but it was a horrible plane. Like, there's absolutely zero storage in that thing.
Oh, none.
You can't
None.
even get a carry-on up there.
Wow.
No.
Everything's gate checked. Huh?
From the very first person, it's gate checked immediately. There is no conversation of carrying anything. No book sacks. Like my books, I carry a big book sack. It ain't going on.
And by book sack, he means backpack.
Backpack. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah,
what do you call them,
absolutely
Jerry?
agree.
Book sack or backpack?
I would say backpack.
Okay.
Well,
Back to the airplane story, please.
Me. You're saying?
Yeah, I was just going to, I completely agree with you. It was a horrible, horrible experience. I'm happy to hear, I was on another one actually, from Knoxville up to Detroit.
Yeah.
When we were going to Upper Michigan to visit Don's family once. But
yeah,
I'll be very happy whenever Delta does finally get rid of them.
Well, I'm sorry.
I was going to say the newer, is it the CRJ 900s?
Yes, the 900s.
They are way
Night and
nice.
day.
Yeah,
Night and day.
Night and day.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same design. They just made the engines more powerful, and they made the actual airplane itself, like the fuselage part of it, a little bigger.
Okay.
And they made, and not much, I mean like a foot bigger.
Right.
And they made the wings a little wider, and it's like it's so small that literally just giving a foot more in the cab, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So they actually announced mid-pandemic that they were going to be done, and you won't, next year you won't be flying a CRJ 200, but airfare came back with such a strong demand that they were like, oh darn, we actually can't phase them out yet. And then all the supply chain issues with Boeing's had and Airbus have had, they're having to hold on to them a little bit longer, but they will soon be gone. And it's like, if I see one of those, if I'm booking a flight and I see one of those, I find something else. I'm like, I'm not squeezing myself, pretzeling yourself.
Yeah. It's horrible.
And the bathroom is a joke.
I didn't even try.
You basically have to stand outside the bathroom to be able to use it. It makes it's bad. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And as usual, another very interesting airplane story.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll have show notes of this up on the podcast, our Facebook as well. Is there anything else we'd like to add on real quick?
Don't forget to check out our website if you're interested in joining Hyfield Trucking. It is www.hyfieldtrucking.com. We do have a live chat feature on there that seems to be very popular right now. So get on there. You can chat with us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Mainly me when I say us.
It's your chance to actually reach out to Jerry himself.
Yeah. See, Jerry actually does talk.
Yes. If you...
Or chat.
Chat, he doesn't talk.
Yeah, he doesn't talk. He just chats with you.
What was I going to say?
If you are interested.
If you're interested in doing what we do and talking on a podcast. No, wait, what?
I was going to ask you that question. By doing what we do you mean the podcast or driving as a contractor for Panther or FedEx Custom Critical?
That's the one. If you're interested in driving for FedEx or Panther, I said Panther Custom Critical. I'm just butchering it. Please reach out to us. Again, like Jerry said, the website's www.hyfieldtrucking.com. That is HYF as in Frank, IELD, trucking, TRUCKING.com. We get a lot of people going like, I couldn't find it. HAYFIELD. It's like, no way. It's just Hyfield. And it's not HIGHFELD. If you would like to reach out to us directly or about the podcast, you have anything you want us to talk about, we have a couple of people have already started emailing us at the outerbeltpodcast at gmail.com. And we'd love to get your feedback from there. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell, let you know when we're going to be putting new content out. And we would just love it if you'd leave a comment, say something about us, even if it's rude. And we would be happy to engage with y'all on there. We do reply back to our comments, and we do read them, and we love all the feedback we are getting from y'all. Thank y'all so much for supporting us the past couple months.
Yeah.
And
if you're listening to us on a podcast, go to your podcast app and leave us a review there, if you wouldn't mind. That'd be great. Very helpful to help other people find us.
Absolutely. Yes. Don't keep us to yourself. Share us. There's a lot of us to go around. Hey everybody, I'm Patrick.
Hey, I'm Chili.
And we're over here at the Mid-America Truck Show. Jerry Bear's on camera. He doesn't have a microphone, unfortunately, so he can't comment, but we'll get his feelings later. We're just going to go walk around and see what's going on.
Show you what it's all about. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Here we go. This is the hard part. How do you figure out where you want to go?
I don't know.
You know, up and down,
I'm
side
not
to
walking
side.
the whole thing.
I don't know. It's the hard part about expos. Big Walmart International.
This Walmart truck has a 14.9 liter engine. Oh, it's probably ISX 15.
Yeah, Cummins.
Remember when Walmart used to have cab overs? Actually, I'm pretty sure that is an old Walmart cab over.
Really?
Yeah, with the blue striping on it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. You can see there where they used to be, and then here they've moved up to these internationals.
Walmart actually runs everything. Whatever they get their hands on, they run. They're not strictly internationals.
I've seen a lot of Peterbilt, Kenworth, international.
That's good. Yep.
This guy has 1.5 million miles. Safe miles. That's a lot of running.
It's 15 years.
Uber Freight's in the house. They brought this whole setup. I mean, look at this. This is nice.
It is nice. This booth. They have a big lounge area over there too.
They got a lounge area?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, one thing that surprised me is how many podcasts there are.
There are a lot of
You
them.
look over here, you see tons of podcasting from all over the industry. It's become such a common thing. And here I thought we were being cutting edge. I love this truck.
This is
I
beautiful.
love this truck. I love this truck.
Gorgeous truck.
This lowrider.
Yeah.
Look at these rims. Just
The rims, even the leaf springs down there.
Oh yeah, the leaf springs are gold
Everything
too.
up front.
I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera or not, but
Probably not. Too dark, probably.
this thing is beautiful. You could also see,
Gorgeous.
look how low this baby sits.
Yeah.
Look at the fairing.
You got a 1/4 inch baby, 1/8 inch there.
I mean, it's incredible. In this beautiful chassis, just gold
Love that gold
speckled.
flake. Love that gold flake. Aluminum fifth wheel.
Aluminum fifth wheel, so shiny.
Yep.
This thing looks like it's never actually towed anything ever.
It does look like that. Off the showroom floor, straight to the show circuit.
Yeah. It's a beautiful car. Beautiful truck. But these shows are unique because they're not just about showing you cool accessories. You can also get turbochargers and exhaust manifolds.
So you can get plenty of turbochargers all over the place. Oh, by the way, I made a deal for turbochargers for all our trucks.
Nice.
They're guaranteed to give us a decrease of fuel economy of 5%.
Nice. But more power, right?
More power,
They
decrease
go-
the fuel economy.
They go
So
faster.
we'll get to 65 faster.
Yes. Yeah. Still limited at 65.
Only
You can't
65,
change
but
that.
we'll get there faster.
Much faster. So these people are pretty cool. Check them out. Truck Parking Club.
They are pretty cool.
.com.
They're like a Airbnb for truck parking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all talked to them a good bit the other day, right?
Yeah, Melissa and I talked to them for a little bit the other day about what they do.
Yeah.
I was really interested in them for Hyfield at sea.
Yes.
Finding somewhere in Florida to be able to park the trucks.
But they don't have anything close, right?
Right now they don't, no. Right now they're only in Naples, Florida.
But they're an upstart company, and they're already got a huge network, and that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And check them out.
Yeah, check them out.
This wing is mostly accessories and recruiters for drivers and for owner-operators. You could buy a bunch of knick-knack stuff there for trucking. But now we're moving to the
North wing.
north wing, south wing, something like that. We're actually going around the arena right now. They're gonna have a tractor pull here tonight. You could be here drinking out of your mind. It's like this.
Wait, hold this. Just hold it.
What a good production assistant.
So welcome to the North Wing. This is in fact the North Wing.
It is the North wing.
And this is more for the trade show part of it for businesses. So a lot of trucking companies come here and they see the new trailers. They talk to the fuel providers, shops, things like that. Owner operators as well. It's just a place for manufacturers to show off their new trailers.
Sure.
And a place for
Fleets to come and
fleets
spec
to-
them out and
Yep.
see
And-
what they're looking at, what the new stuff is, new technology.
absolutely. So less accessories and more more business side.
More business,
So let's
yeah.
go check out what they got. It's so cool, this section, because you see these trailers going down the road all the
Yeah.
time, and they look like hell. They've just been
They
beat to
do.
crap. And you actually get to see one brand new.
And you don't really get a chance to look at them and see what they're doing, right?
No.
I mean, this one's kind of cool. It's a RGN, removable gooseneck, or a low boy, sometimes they call them.
Yes.
It actually has extenders on the side, so you can extend them to carry wider loads.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, what happens here with the RGN is the tractor will drop his airbags, disconnect here, pull this part away, and you can roll things like tractors or combines up onto the deck, reconnect to the gooseneck here, raise it back up, and you're down the road. So interesting technology.
Yeah. But a great way to handle extremely heavy
Sure.
and tall and large oversized cargo.
I also, Melissa, if I ever went back to flatbedding,
Yes.
I wouldn't do it unless I was in a roll top.
Yes.
These roll tops are slick.
Yeah.
And you're still securing your freight, but you're not throwing tarps.
Yes. You're grabbing a pole and you're walking to the end of your trailer.
That's it.
Yeah.
Secure it and you're on your way.
These trailers are so friggin' expensive too. People don't realize, like, you think, oh, the tractor's the business end of the truck and it's gonna be mostly, some of
No,
these trailers
yeah.
are way more expensive than the tractors. Those little motors and that thing, little Caterpillar diesel in there, and
Yeah.
they used to make them APUs out of them.
Really?
Yeah, they were good. They just required a more frequent oil change, and that's why they kind of fell out of favor to
okay.
Kubota.
Yeah. Melissa and I saw this out here
Whoa!
earlier in the week.
Oh, that's cool.
The paint job on both these trucks, this is pretty cool.
Holy cow!
Like post-apocalyptic looking.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, can we get a turbo around here?
I think there's a couple of turbo shops. I haven't seen one in a while though.
This thing looks sick. Jerry, you
Yeah.
getting all this? You got this truck? Yeah. This thing's. Look at the pipes. It's got a arc
It's
welder.
got our welder on it, yeah.
Guess they're not hauling explosives. El Diablo, Loco,
Welder up.
welder. Brass knuckles hood ornament. I say yes. Not a lot of visibility out of that windshield.
Not much at all.
Teacher tried to tell him not to. He wouldn't listen. Stuck his finger right in it.
The interior walls and ceiling are all like alligator skin, it looks like.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
I like that turbo right there.
Yeah,
That turbo, it's proud to be an American.
it is probably American.
I wonder how long that paint will last on that turbo. One rev?
One rev, yeah. One rev to 15,000, it's all over.
Yeah. So if you don't know, turbos add more air to the engine so that they can add more fuel and get more horsepower out of an engine. And they do that by having the exhaust right out of the engine go through them and spool up a fan which pushes the air in.
Right.
So a turbo gets extremely hot. know much about green APU. They have a, I think if I remember correctly, they operate all like a tri-pack does, and it's mostly a 12-volt base system.
Okay.
So we don't use that in our trucks. So I've never had a really reason to explore them too
Sure.
much. I see them everywhere. I don't know if they're just doing really good with marketing or... So 4th State Truck, these guys, 4thStateTrucks.com, we use them a lot.
Do we?
Yes,
What
I
do you use it
order
for?
I order a lot of parts for the trucks with them.
Okay.
Now here they're showing their bling. Typically it's like we're buying mud flap holders or we're buying grills. They keep a lot of like the grills in stock so if you
Okay.
hit a deer, they're a good place to go because, you know, Freightliner will cost you a couple $1,000
If they have them available.
if they have them
back order.
available on non-back order,
Yeah.
and 4th State Trucks may have them for $250. So it's not
And
a
that
hard
piece,
decision.
that
Oh,
grill,
look, right here, there you go.
yeah, that grill isn't even it's not a structural component. It's strictly beauty,
It is cosmetics.
cosmetics. Thank you.
Yep.
And there it is.
There's that grill. Yep. They just have all kind. I mean, they're just a huge truck parts company. And look at me, stainless steel, polished stainless steel bumper starting at $1,000. Like that's outstanding. That's so much more expensive if you go to a dealership and buy them. So good company. We use them a lot. They are the Chrome Shop Mafia people too.
They're the Chrome Shop Mafia, you said?
They are, yes. Another nice lowrider.
I love the color scheme on this truck here.
This one,
Yeah.
it's very
different.
It's very
right?
classic. It makes
It
me
is.
think of like an older school 1970s paint job.
It's not something I would come up with, but I like the way it matches. It comes together.
I like those stacks too.
I do like the
There's
shape
something
types.
really cool about just massive 6-8 inch stacks. I do wonder though, where does the water go that collects in that pipe when it's raining? Does it just blow out when they turn it on?
It must just rain nice exhaust water.
Oh yeah, all over your pretty clean truck. Again, here's a company who specializes in lifts. So they're not advertising the truck.
No,
They're
the
actually-
drivers are advertising the shops.
They're
and
showing off,
fleets.
yeah, the shops.
Yeah.
This is a lift. So you don't buy one lift, you buy all four,
All four.
and you can lift the whole truck up. And they move around just like pallet jacks would. So they're actually really easy to move. They're battery powered, or not battery, electric powered, and
First, we got an interesting booth here. Lots of conversations going on even today,
yeah.
Saturday.
Well, Mercer, you know, they're huge in flatbed, right?
Yeah.
And they've been around a long time. I don't think they run a lot of California because every Mercer truck I've seen is an older, I'm sorry?
I was such going to say it's too long and too heavy.
Oh no, they're just old. They
Just
don't have
older trucks.
DEF. They don't have DPF filters on them, things like that, which makes them great. They're super reliable, but they're not the best for the environment. I understand
Sure.
why they don't run them anymore. But like this thing's a workhorse. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
It's
It's in 1977.
that's when the company started. That's not.
Is that not the truck here?
No.
Okay.
It's a good looking truck. Look at all the fuel tanks.
Yeah. It's got 4 fuel tanks.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had the same booth for years. Last year they had the truck up a little higher and in the very center, and it was surrounded by the bar.
Okay.
So I kind of broke the booth up.
Right.
It looked really nice. There have been a lot of lift companies.
There's a few more over here still to get to.
Yeah, it's I guess that's becoming like that technology's maturing, and so there's
Sure.
more companies doing it. I remember that when they first came out, and there was one place with a lifted truck up in the air, and it was like, whoa. But now it's fairly
Not
common.
so special anymore.
straps. Okay, now this is one of my favorite parts of these truck shows.
Oh, the classic
You got
trucks.
right up here, you got real working classic
yeah.
trucks. These aren't, I mean, like they got the chrome polish, but that's about it. These are not show trucks, trailer queens
No,
or whatever.
they're not.
This thing
They're
is,
working trucks.
it's a portion plate, which means it actually is a working truck. Boy, I mean, you are just like, you are right there.
Yes. Yes, you are. You see everything right in front of you.
Everything. So, my first time going into an 18-wheeler, my dad's buddy came to town, and he was in a not a Peterbilt, but a Freightliner cab over, and the friends, he sat in the driver's seat, his wife sat laid in the sleeper,
Right.
and my dad sat in the passenger seat, and I sat up on the hump, and that was where we chatted. Not a lot of room. It was a tight fit. But you know, these things are cool. You could get these cab overs like queen size beds and stuff in the back. Now you couldn't stand up in them.
No.
So you had to, put your clothes on laying down. But
sure.
massive bed.
My neighbor down the street when I was growing up had a white cab over. I can't tell you the brands. I don't recall because I'm old. But that was my first introduction to big trucks, like up close and personal.
Yep.
Was his. It was pretty cool.
And if you don't know, this whole cab tilts forward,
yeah.
and that's how they get to the engine. So there's no hood,
opening
no
anything
whatever.
here, yeah.
This, like these little doors are for like checking oil and stuff like that, so you don't have to tilt it every time you go to do your pre-trip. But when you get an oil change, you got to secure everything.
Everything in the bunk.
Otherwise, you'll have something slide and bust through the windshield. Okay, now these are cool. So this is early Peterbilt's attempt at aerodynamics. Look at how slippery they made this truck.
Yeah. Wow.
They very slightly raked the headlights back and gave a little bit of a swoop.
Right.
And that's an aerodynamic truck.
More than that.
Yes, I mean, you compare it to that Marmon right next to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They're starting.
Marmon is actually known for like being a boutique truck builder.
Okay.
Super high
behind
end. Super high end and very well built trucks. I mean, you can tell this one's got quite a few years on it.
This is the 86.
And yep. This would have been like driving a Cadillac back in the 70s. Wow, they got cones of silence over here.
Oh, they do. Top secret meetings.
Oh, we haven't done any of these, but the show also has these, the stage where they do like talks about industry items, and you can do seminars and stuff and actually learn about various topics. They also have some breakout rooms, but this one they put in the middle of the floor. It's really good, especially if you're trying to do your research and learn about trucking and want to get involved. And they talk about everything. They can talk about running a shop. They can talk about financing a truck. They also talk about good maintenance policy, practices and things like that. It's a very educational show. It's
Sure.
not just for looking at the pretty chrome.
It's a good place to graduate from being a driver to an owner-operator, or even beyond that.
Correct. Yes, I agree. I'm excited to see Pat Carr. Kenworth is back at the show this year. They have not been, or they've been in a very small way over the last couple of years. A lot of the big truck manufacturers have gotten out of coming to these shows, and it's very cool to see them coming back. I think it has to do with their 100-year anniversary this year. So
Okay.
Kenworth turns 100 years old this year, and actually this W900 I think is one of their 100-year anniversary. It's brand new. It's not 100 years
Looks
old.
good for a 100-year-old
Now
truck.
this one, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is 100 years old. I mean, this right here is, that's back when trucking was trucking,
Yes, it was.
as they say.
Yes, it was.
Back in my day.
No doors.
No, you don't need
No
them. Our
windows.
seatbelts.
Get a windscreen. Otherwise, you're exposed.
Yes. Yeah. No air conditioner, radio, CB.
It's got
1923.
a Buddha 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated 26 horsepower engine, so
Yep.
carbureted.
It's got a magneto.
E&L 3-speed transmission.
Yep. The magneto, an 8-volt magneto for its electrical. And that's it.
So the lights.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful truck.
It is a
Kenworth,
beautiful
it looks like they're saying Kenworth actually, the employees at the Chillicothe plant actually restored this thing. So Kenworth builds a lot of their trucks in Chillicothe, Ohio. And they did a great job restoring this thing. This thing is absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous truck.
It's funny too, you can kind of tell how not only have the trucks changed, the size of the trucks changed, but also the size of the humans.
Yeah,
I don't know that I could
definitely.
fit in that thing
I
to
don't
drive
think I
it.
could.
That is an
I think I
itty bitty
could.
little thing to get in.
And there's no adjusting the seat or the
There's no
pedals.
adjusting
Nothing.
the anything.
Nothing. It is what it is.
Yeah.
This is one of those trucks. They probably had when you got hired to drive it, they had a sign like a Disneyland or amusement park.
Oh yes.
And it said you must be this tall to drive this truck.
Yes.
And no taller.
And no shorter.
And no shorter.
Because
right
there's
here.
no adjusting
You're
anything.
right here.
We're hiring only 5'6"
Exactly.
drivers that weigh between 100
Exactly.
and 110 pounds. Even the rear view mirror is just this tiny little thing hanging from the top. It's so cool. You take this and you just walk right next to it and you see what a W900L, which I think they're
Wow.
discontinuing these trucks.
Number 1 of 900.
Number 1 of 900. It's the 100-year look. You can see it on the exhaust safety
Stacks, yep.
yeah, for the
The heat
stacks.
shields.
Yeah, this thing is a beast. You know, we used to have a Kenworth T660,
Okay.
and the cab is the exact same as it is for a W900. So when I look in there, it's like, oh yeah, this is exactly like what we used to drive.
Brings back memories.
It does. This is a gorgeous truck, long wheelbase.
Yeah.
That
beautiful.
steer axle is way out front, giving you a really nice, comfy ride because you're not sitting right on top of that wheel. So when it hits a
Right.
bounce,
You don't feel it
where
so much.
you're at, you don't feel it. Yeah, exactly. So
Beautiful truck.
beautiful truck. It's pretty fly.
We had a special request from Buttermilk.
Yes, I think we're gonna go do that now
All right.
because I want to see it too.
It's also a beautiful truck.
It's also, yes, absolutely. It is gorgeous. Well, I think gorgeous is a stretch.
What's that?
It's a dump truck. I said it's gorgeous, but I'm like,
Yeah, it's a gorgeous dump truck. How's that?
okay. It's a pretty dump truck.
So this truck is a Western Star 47X,
Yes.
which is the same model as our tractor.
No, close. Where's a 49X? Is a tractor.
Oh, is it a 49X?
This is a 47X.
Is this
yeah.
a 47? Did I say it wrong?
So this is a 47X. Ours is a 49X. They look the same, but
They
this
do look
hood is
the
a
same.
lot shorter.
It is a lot shorter. You're right. You're
Yep.
right. There's a big difference.
That is the main. That is the main difference in these trucks. Look how high this cab is. This is also a vocational truck. This what is this? Like 4.5 feet, 5 feet?
It's 4.5 feet.
It's
at least.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, the first step is
It's tall.
it's ridiculous.
It's very tall.
But it's meant to go into a quarry and deal with obstacles and
It
you
needs
know
to have that clearance.
you need to have exactly because you
Yeah.
don't want a rock or something you drive over ripping an airline out.
Buttermilk, or Melissa Cheshire, requested us to look at this truck and show this truck because she learned to drive on a dump truck. Now, it didn't have the lift axle. It's just a 3-axle dump truck, but she wanted us to come over and pay homage to all the drivers out there who learned to drive on a dump truck.
Absolutely. You know, I didn't learn to drive on a dump truck, but I tested for my CDL on a dump truck.
Nice.
Yep. That was a beautiful truck. It was a 6-speed manual, single clutch, not a double clutch, 6-speed manual, and 4th gear didn't work. So it made for a very exciting test.
I bet.
And guess what else we see?
Another lift,
Another lift.
another set of lifts. Yeah.
This is cool. I like the pink color too. That thing stands out.
It does stand out.
They even got the
It
pink
truly does
LEDs
stand
on
out.
it too.
Yeah. They set it up real nice.
Yeah. Yes, they did. Look at this suspension. So this is not airbags. All the weight for these 2 sets of tires fall on this one pivot point right here, and that is what carries the weight of all this. I mean, this is just, all the bolts and everything.
Yeah.
But also no air ride means when this thing is empty, it rides
rough.
horribly.
Yeah, it's going to ride. Even with air ride, when you have an empty truck that's meant
Yes.
designed to carry weight, they ride rough.
Yep.
You see those drivers bobtailing down the road, they're not having a smooth, comfy ride. That's for
No,
sure.
no, they're bouncing. They are bouncing. I think that's what I like about with our trucks and expedited.
Yeah.
The trucks are already empty at such with the custom sleepers and the boxes and lift gates. They're already so heavy, they actually ride really smooth, even being empty.
They do.
And a lot, for several of our trucks, you cannot tell a difference between having a
heavy
load and not having a load.
No, I think the only time you should tell a difference is if you're pulling a hill and you have a heavy load.
Yes.
Heavy in our truck is 12,000 pounds.
Yes.
But otherwise, you don't feel it.
Absolutely. Well, here's a Mack. So Mack was always more of a heavy duty. That was their mentality.
Okay.
And so you see it right away. This truck is taller.
It's higher.
These
yeah.
tires are knobby.
Yeah.
I like that it's got the acetylene
the
headlamps.
The lantern headlamp.
Yes. So this is just gas driven. Yeah.
Looks like the seat's a little wider too on this one.
It is a little bit wider. The
But
steering,
still, no adjustments.
no adjustments. There's 1 gauge on the truck. I don't know if that's RPMs or what. It probably isn't speed in miles per hour. They weren't even thinking about that back
This
then.
one has a horn on it too. The other one didn't have a horn. We tried to find the horn the other day and you couldn't find it.
In the middle?
No, outside.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was gonna say, because that middle ring's not
No.
a horn.
No, the horn is
Oh yeah, it's got an actual.
got the actual horn right here.
Oh yeah, and it's the kind you push down on it.
Right.
It makes a.
It's a
noise.
mechanical horn.
Yeah. Look at it, it's chain drive.
Is it really? Wow. I am, yes, thank you. The chain, that's a huge chain.
Yep.
Wow.
Dual tires. These are solid rubber tires. Dual tires on steel rim, on a steel rim. No, it's 2 rims. Yeah, it's 2 rims. That's a cool truck.
Write it out. It's like,
Another beautiful truck.
stick them on as soon as you enter, or you're gonna.
Yep. So this is 1924. This is 1 year after that
that one.
Kenworth truck we looked at.
But it's a huge difference, like you said. It's more of a rugged truck. It is
Yes.
just the way the frame sits up higher.
Oh yeah.
It's certainly more rugged of a truck.
They're just 2 different things. Kenworths were designed out of Washington State. At the same time, these were being designed, I want to say I don't know where they're from. Actually, I don't remember where Mack is from. But they're not on the West Coast. They're an East
Okay.
Coast company.
Right.
So 2 very different ideologies.
Oh, the right job for the right tool for the right job.
Yes, and they're building trucks not knowing what the other one's doing.
Sure.
You know, it's
Sure.
not like they were online and seeing what the competition was doing. I mean, there's a real good chance at some point, you know, these 2 trucks could have been built simultaneously for
Right.
10 years before they even know the other one exists. It's dual chain drive too. It's one on each
Wow.
axle.
This is a cool truck too.
Yeah, I wonder if it has a differential, because otherwise the steering on this thing's got to be brutal. So a differential would control how much power goes to which wheel. If they are both going, if you're getting power to both wheels, the truck will actually want to drive in a straight line and not turn.
It's hard to tell.
Yep.
It does have some linkage that runs back here on both sides, but that's interesting.
Well, you see right here's your brake, right? You see the line coming in? That's
Okay,
your brake
that's
hub.
your brake.
Because you don't need brakes actually attached to the tire. That makes no sense.
Just stop the engine. It's direct drive from the chain.
Yeah.
So
That's a cool piece of
it
Americana.
is. And I bet you, I know these tires are solid rubber.
Solid rubber.
There's no air in there.
None.
There's no air at all
None.
in there.
But again, that back then, back then comfort wasn't even a consideration.
No,
or
it wasn't.
thought.
Get the job done.
Get the job done, and get on. And if you don't want to do it, leave. This is
find
great.
somebody else.
We're talking about if Depression era time frame and industry, and just find someone else to do it. It's everything's changed since then. Now this, I'm excited. Right in front of us, we have the Western Star 49X, which is what we have,
Right.
and the Western Star 57X, which
7X.
just came out. 57X. You know what's growing on me? When I first saw this truck, I thought I didn't like the hood. It's a little aerodynamic. It's slopey. It's
not as muscular,
not as
aggressive
muscular.
looking as a 5700X.
I agree.
5700.
I agree. Completely agree with you. It's
But
just,
it still looks good, I think.
it does, and I like the little
like the
air
grill.
dams on the bumper. Like it really has. It's growing on me. I love the paint job. This gray looks really cool.
It's really nice.
And this one's got the blacked out Alcoa rims that I really like.
Yeah,
I
with
don't
the
really-
blacked out hubcaps.
Yeah, the blacked out. Yep. Nice paint job. These, I even like the mirror support being that piece of curved
Gives a little more style.
aluminum. Yeah, it's not just a piece of black plastic or whatever. So I know people are complaining because these trucks are basically a Cascadia, but on the Western Star side, they are doing some things. They're giving you a little heavier frame. They're giving you things like those mirrors
Right.
that are more curved and look a little better. The inside layout, the dash looks very different than the Cascadia dash does. Now the bones are there of a Cascadia, but how they have everything, as far as how they have it laid out, but the aesthetics part of it looks quite a bit different. Yeah. So this one also, you see that black hood up there, or vent up there.
Yes.
So this has the, what is the name of it? So basically, the sleeper air conditioner is built into the truck from Western Star. It's from the factory. So when you're parked, you can actually run your bunk AC with the engine off. And then when your battery gets low, the engine of the truck will turn on, charge batteries back up, turn itself back off, and the whole time you have air conditioner, no.
Oh, so you have the comfort without idling the truck.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, no, it's very, very well thought out. Nice big aluminum plate, and of course they got the stacks because it's a Western Star.
Western Star, why would you have stacks?
I love the Mack booth. It's not Mack trucks, it's Mack trailers. These are aluminum, all aluminum trailers. These things are so stinking expensive and awesome. So they build these aluminum trailers so they can get the absolute max amount of.
Right, because they're lighter than running steel.
Absolutely. So when you have something that's like you're having heavy haul, which is what these flatbeds are.
Sure.
If you've got a trailer that weighs 5,000 pounds less than a steel trailer, that's 5,000 pounds you could haul that someone who's got a steel trailer can't. The grain trailers, the oil trailers, the tankers, all those go based on weight. So the lighter you can make the trailer, the more money you can make. So that's what Mack does really, really well. They're probably the best, or one of the best aluminum trailer manufacturers. Very cool booth, they always have. They always bring out just the nicest. And it's funny too, because they'll never look that pretty again.
No, never.
I mean, it's like, it's one time.
How they got here looking that pretty is amazing.
They came here on another trailer. That's how they did it.
Tarped.
Yes, tarped, yes. And of course, like here's an aluminum dump body at this site.
Right.
And this aluminum dump body you can see is not polished. It is just
It's
standard
just ready to go to work.
aluminum. And at that point, you got to ask, do you really need a polished aluminum or not?
Right.
It looks better, but it doesn't make you a penny more.
Not a cent more.
So,
Not a cent more.
you know, sometimes.
Unless that polishing is taking off weight.
Was what?
That polishing is taking off weight.
Yes. And it's not.
It's not.
It's not. Oh, look, guess what we found?
Oh, more lifts.
More lifts.
Well, they've got lifts on this side, lifts on that side.
Yes, they have all kinds of lifts. What kind of lift do you want? I heard these were the original wireless ones.
Okay. So they're communicating with each other.
They do. So when you lift one here,
Yeah,
the other side does. You don't have to. Oh, this is Gray. Gray's
One-man
a huge
operation.
lift company. They've been out for a long, long time.
The other day they had this straight truck here. They had this straight truck here on the lift the other day. Well, that's on the lift now, but they also had the front end up in the air on this one over here. It was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Just the front end, not the whole truck.
Absolutely. And you can see too, the cool thing about having these wireless lifts is like that one back here in the back.
Yeah.
They got the trailer and the truck up.
Right.
So you're not limited.
You don't need 6 guys to run the lifts.
Exactly. And you're not limited to what size your fixed lift is.
Right.
Because if you have a fixed lift and then you have a truck that's got a longer frame or
Right.
something,
You can't get it.
and you can't lift it, yeah. So that's where these things really shine. Plus, with insurance costs, everything, pits are becoming a lot more challenging. So lifts are a great option.
Yeah, pits are always open with, even if there's no truck over it, it's always
Yes,
open.
it's always a fall hazard. We were joking about this trailer yesterday.
Oh,
This cattle trailer.
it'll never smell that good again.
It'll never smell that good again. If you have not experienced driving behind a cattle trailer, you should at least once in your life.
Or even
learn.
worse, having one parked next to you.
Oh man! And you're trying to sleep, and they're like,
Absolutely.
doom, 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 doom. Yeah. It's just the aroma. I believe we call that aroma.
The aroma is not
Yeah.
pleasant.
And then they have more older trucks. These I think are more show queens though. These are definitely
They are.
Definitely
These trucks are restored and polished.
fresher paint jobs, really sharp looking old trucks. Right over here in the very back, you got a T600. That was Kenworth's big hoorah into aerodynamic trucking, and it literally changed everything. That thing became successful, and at that point, everybody had to move to building aerodynamic trucks.
Nice.
And it's what's funny is that cab and that truck right there is the exact same cab on that that W900. Yes. This thing was, what year is this? 96? Yes, it's a 96 T600. Caterpillar diesel, 15-speed Fuller. And you notice too, it's not. It's older, so you still got the old square headlights because that's
Right.
all that was available.
Sure.
That was the law too back then. Had to be sealed headlights.
Okay.
But they had the aerodynamic bumper. They got the aerodynamic fenders. The cab's narrower, and then the sleeper. It's hard to see, especially with the pipes, but it actually scoops out.
Yeah.
The mirrors. That big piece of shiny chrome behind the mirrors.
Yeah.
That looks. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, this looks like a pretty effect. That's actually aerodynamics. The whole reason that exists is aerodynamics. Before that, they were the California mirror style, which is just a flat piece of steel that was polished because it looked pretty.
Sure.
But yeah, this right here, and then also the fairings. That was the other thing that was a game changer. This thing has fairings over the steps, so it keeps that airflow attached to the side of the sleeper onto the trailer, making it real slippery in the wind. Again, this truck
Things
changed
you don't think
the
about.
world.
We have trucks today, brand new trucks that don't have bearings over the steps and the fuel tanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
And people ask us, why don't we put fairings on our trucks? Because they do make the truck more fuel
Right.
economical. We do partial fairings on our M2 112s,
Right.
but we don't on our
Cascadias.
Cascadias. And a large part of that is actually the overall length of the truck, when you are the wheelbase rather. When you have a long wheelbase truck, clearing obstacles becomes a challenge.
Sure, with those fairings.
And that's where fairings don't work.
Right.
But if it wasn't for that, absolutely, we fairing everything. You just save so much fuel. Now the good thing is the engine technology and the front part of the truck has gotten so aerodynamic, and the engine technology has gotten so fuel efficient and clean burning that it's not so much a concern anymore. But it would be nice if we could. But you can even see like these ARIs with their longer wheelbase. This is the ARI booth, obviously. They don't have fairings either. Similar reasons. It's just
We almost got some of that on this one, at least, with the toolboxes.
a little bit. In our trucks, you do as well, but they're still not anywhere near as low as what a normal tractor would
not
be.
at all.
And even with these long wheelbases with the toolboxes, you still got to be careful because you will cross a rotor trackers.
Oh, sure.
And you can,
High center it.
or even a steep loading dock,
Right.
and you can scrape. And you'll see too, like both Volvo and Cascadias do keep a little bit of fairing as much as they can at the step, but then nothing past that. So basically past this point, over there is a few more trailers. There is an outside area that's full of trucks. It is just super windy, so we can't record out there. You won't be able to hear anything. But this is the show. This is Mid-America Truck Show. It's very large. We took you on a single kind of twisting way through here. We could have done 4 times longer video of just going and seeing everything. This place is huge. You didn't make it out this year. Next year, make a point to come see this.
Yeah,
It's a really cool show.
There's a lot of cool stuff here.
Take the opportunities to listen to, like, check out the schedule, go listen to some of those classes, go talk to vendors, look at it ahead of time because it's such a large show. Look at the vendor booths ahead of time so you can go and make sure you get your.
You can map out.
You can map out
what
what
you
you're
want to
doing.
see
Yes.
and who you want to see, and make sure you hit those as priorities.
Yes.
Your first day,
And then
then the next day, or if you have more time that first day, you can wander around and see the other things that are out here.
Absolutely.
The vendors are certainly happy to talk to you
Yes.
and share information with you, let you know what's going on too. So.
Absolutely, and bring some cash or a credit card because they do have some cool accessories that you're going to see that you're going to want. But this is going to conclude the portion of our tour. We're actually going to record another video right after this of one side of one of these trucks. So we hope you join us for that one.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.